2 o'clock.
Okay.
Came home at 2:55.
Right.
But it's like Weimer, Hine,
Okay.
Hillchurch, Mapleton.
We spend 45 minutes of our life every day up at that school picking those kids up. I'm like,
Yeah, I
Megan,
did that
put them
last
on the
year.
bus. Like, come on. So
There's only like 3 kids they pick up after my kids, because there's another family on Valley Brook. There's one on 44, and I think one on Orchard too. So they're pretty close.
The whole way to Mapleton. Dump people off all down through there on Mapleton Street back by my house and cut back up over lots. Dumped off Gary Overly's 2 girls. Turned around there and she goes,
on Thursday, she said, "Will you?"
Or at the farm there.
I said, "Yes, I have."
Chuck Barker's farm.
Practice things.
And then
She never
back up
responded to
Orchard.
that.
And that's, it took us almost an
You were
hour.
going and I was going. She'd have to go.
Yeah, I texted her that night, or that day, she asked.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from her.
Deal with all the little crap.
Okay, now everything's on, we're streaming, people can hear what we're saying. We're broadcasting to the parking lot and we're digitally recording, so you're ready.
All right, let's call to order. Please stand, let's let the flag and hold the vote. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we ask that you guide us in decisions to best benefit the residents of Osnaburg Township. We ask that you keep everybody safe, and we hopefully that Trustee Griffith is safe since nobody's heard anything from her, and a quick meeting. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Do you have anything to add to the agenda?
Yes. Bear with me a moment. I'll get it for you. I'll make sure I got this.
While Fiscal Officer Larry's figuring his out, I'm going to add something to the fire report. We have a firefighter resignation we need to accept.
Under the fire?
Yep.
That's where I'm gonna have some of mine. I need to have I have 1, 2, 3 POs I'll need to be putting in there for approval.
Okay, we're going to then and now those?
No.
No, okay,
These will be all bills that are coming in.
okay,
Yes, some of it, we had to go get it done, but we knew they were coming. We're just gonna be approving them. So I
Got it.
prepared the documents for tonight.
okay, thank
All
you.
right.
And then, any updates that down under the old business when it comes to anything with Sioux Coast Parks information, American Rescue, American Rescue Plan, money, all those things, along with, I have some stuff in zoning. And all it is going to do is to help out with Mary's property. I'm going to let Mary give hers. It's just to update you where I was as fiscal officer. But it's a lot of stuff to put in there just to, when I say a lot, it's just, I want you all to know where I'm at on it.
Okay.
So, other than that, that's all I have right for now.
All right, we'll move on to the meeting minutes from May 23, 2021.
Trustee Varian moves to accept the minutes as presented.
Trustee Piro, second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And we'll do a roll call if you don't mind.
Sure.
Roll call,
Varian
Yes.
and Piro.
yes.
Usually on those standard procedure ones, you don't have to do roll call, but once you get into that meeting, you should. Because Trustee Griffith will have an opportunity to come back and approve, and, sign off on those minutes. Okay.
You want roll call and everything then tonight?
Yeah, after, well, like I say, after you do the treasurer's report, then you should do roll call from there on. But just to do the treasurer's report and the meeting minutes, you're okay.
Okay, approval of trustee, already did that. The treasurer's report, 9/13/2021.
Trustee Varian moves to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call,
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
yes.
Thank you.
Public speaks. None. Fire report.
Okay, is there any specific order you want me to do stuff in?
No, I'll let you go and then I'll pick up whatever.
Okay.
Leave staffing I'll do staffing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to approve money for fire safety. In the past, we've done, I think, between $500 and $600. We have nothing in reserve between some other things that we've done with kids in the community and our chili dinners and stuff. We have absolutely nothing. So we need to get that stuff ordered here. Fire safety is in October. So I'm hoping for a little bit more money this year if we have it. So between $650 and $700 for fire safety supplies for the school.
Did you see that book I stuck in?
I did.
Yeah, that just came here the other day. It
Yep.
made me
This
think
is
about it.
this is the safety city, if you were. This is the fire safety we work with the schools on.
Yes, so
Okay.
we go into the schools during fire safety week, we present, and then we give them bags. But we have, between like Safety Bird and all that stuff, we've used up everything that we have. So
Okay.
pretty much nothing.
It's time to replenish.
It's time to replenish.
And if we do it now, we can get it in before it's time to use it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll get it ordered here this week then.
All right, fiscal officer Larry, where do you spend that money out of or something like that? Is it general fund for the fire or?
We go out of the fire, but there's, I take it out of the line item where all the donations and things we get.
Okay,
There is about $800 to $1,000 in that fund, so.
okay, so we're okay to go
Yeah,
to
you can-
700, is that okay?
How much you want to do?
Is it okay to go to 700 or for the 650?
No, I would keep it, would you say it was?
Okay. I said in the past, we've done, I believe, between $500 and $600, and I had asked for
Usually it
$650.
was around $450. I mean, it might have been approved for $500, but I can't remember what it is, if you remember.
Yeah, I don't,
I would say you want to go up to 600. Can you?
I don't
Do
know.
it at six.
Dane has always ordered it, so I honestly don't know.
Did you say you're out of everything?
Yeah,
So you're kind of replenishing.
yep,
650.
that's the goal, so.
Okay, all right, trustee Varian moves to spend $650 to purchase items for fire safety.
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call vote,
Varian
Yes,
and Puro.
yes.
so 650, great.
Okay.
All right.
We need a new vacuum cleaner at the fire station. We've needed it for a while. Ours just is terrible. So it's probably something we can get at Ace. They have that kind of stuff, but I know that might not necessarily be the cheapest. So I don't know if there's somewhere specific you want me to get it. If you want me to get it from Ace, I can probably do that. I'm sure they
Do you
have
have any
that.
pricing?
I don't.
I mean, my personal opinion, outside of anybody else's comments, I like to use local business. If we're paying a little bit more for Ace, they're still locally owned. I'm okay with that. That's my personal opinion, but I also know that it's taxpayers' dollars, so that's kind of where I stand.
Well, better products, better too.
I mean, I wouldn't assume they're gonna have a crappy vacuum at Ace, but I know they have vacuums because I've purchased them before for the preschool a couple times, and I like to buy at Ace just because they're local.
Do you have any idea on?
Oh, the last time I bought a vacuum there, it was between 85 and 135. I bought the cheaper one and I bought the more expensive one from them. So I would say under $150 is comfortable for a standard vacuum, but I'm kind of doing that off of memory.
150, all right, up to, all right. Trustee Piro moves to up to 150 to buy a new sweeper from Ace Hardware for the fire department.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call vote,
Varian.
Yes.
Puro.
yes.
An update on 55. I was gonna let you roll it out.
Okay. So 55 kind of came in with a complaint of soft brakes / no brakes. So we took that right away over to the mechanic that put the brakes on it. While assessing the fire truck, the ambulance, Medic 55, which is a Chevy van front end ambulance. They found some steering components that were pretty worn out, and then the wheel bearings were also very worn out, and to the point that the reason you felt like the brake was fading was because when you'd stop, it would actually shift forward in the wheel housing. So they replaced both wheel hubs, the drag link, the fitment arm, and did an alignment on it. So hopefully, if you've driven it before, it's running better. I hope so. It was $1,800. It was under $1,800. So when that all came down, I communicated with the trustees to get approval for that. We did get approval for that between the 3 trustees, and we went ahead and moved on that. I need to get a invoice sent over to Fiscal Officer Lowry on that.
We didn't do a
Yeah, you
formal
need
resolution, right?
Yes, so
We just- Yeah.
yeah. Trustee Varian moves to pay Gearhead's Garage up to $1,800 for repairs on Medic 255, right?
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call vote.
Varian,
Yes,
Piro.
Yes.
great, thank you. Have you had a chance to drive it? Any better?
I have not.
Okay, all right. Until we get another complaint, we're gonna go with it's fixed.
They were in it this week, so
Okay, good. All right,
as far
good.
as I know, it's way
That's,
better.
that's great. Okay, moving on to the next, we have a resignation that was turned in from John Forberg. Is that correct? Do I need to read this publicly, Fiscal Officer Lowry?
You can if you like.
Okay.
A lot of times you read it, then it makes note of when his last word.
Okay, great. So this official letter was turned into the trustees on 9/13. It says, "Attention Osnaburg Township trustees, I would like to inform you of my intention to resign from the position of firefighter/EMT at the Osnaburg Township Fire Department effective 2 weeks from today, August 30th. I appreciate the opportunity given to me to serve the citizens of Osnaburg Township for almost 7 years. There's no better job than public safety and the people we serve. I sincerely wish everyone well and continued success. Thank you sincerely, John J. Forberg." Trustee Varian moves to accept the resignation of John Forberg.
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
Yes.
Just as a point of clarity, we've been talking to the leadership of the fire department, the chief and the assistant chief, and they had an idea that this kind of was coming down the pipe. So we're working on getting some spots filled. So thank you. And let me turn that up. Brian. Okay, moving along. Before we hit the call run, we had a work session, a public work session. And we had a chance to brainstorm a few things as far as the fire department goes. And I thought it was a good work session. I thought we talked about a lot of great ideas. Some things we probably will touch on a different meeting than tonight, as far as creative ways to continue to get capable, active firefighters and EMTs to either stay on with us or stay with us for a long period of time or work shifts. So we're kind of working through that. As a side note, I had an opportunity to speak to one of the full-time North NIM guys. I'm sorry, Nimishillen Township guys. I say North NIM because I'm talking about the school at the time. One of the Nimishillen Township guys who is full-time. He also works for Marathon, and he and I had a conversation. And he assured me it's not just you. He says it's everywhere. So we had a conversation, and it was kind of nice to talk to somebody outside of our program, and we talked about a couple of different ideas. So it was kind of nice talking to him. So after that work session, we discussed the possibility of moving from a 20-hour pay on a shift to 24. So the firefighters and EMTs would be paid a full 24 when they work their 24-hour shift. Right now, they're working 24-hour shifts and getting paid for 20. So after that discussion, we felt we talked to Fiscal Officer Lowry, and decided that there was enough money to handle that change. And after the discussion, we felt that it was time to make that move. You looking at your calendar?
I think you want to start on 18th. Was pay schedule change?
19th.
19th. To make active the 19th. Trustee Varian moves to change from a 20-hour pay to a 24-hour pay for the firefighters and EMTs of Osnaburg Township, made effective September 19th.
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call.
Varian.
Yes.
And Piro.
Yes.
And then as far as some other things we had discussed, just to keep everyone aware, and the public as well, we've discussed a couple different opportunities to get creative as far as our pay structure, as far as some incentives go. I think the conversation was good. I think it was all moving in the right direction to try to build some pay up, some incentive up, also build morale so that we can keep some firefighters on with us. So we're not constantly turning over. And we understand that we are not a full-time fire department, and we understand that that is going to be part of our makeup, but we're just trying to make it better than we found it. So that's all I have on that. Anything else?
No, just as somebody who works there, works nights, and has spent the last 10 years, I mean, this is a big step forward. So I feel like I speak for a lot of us when I say it's a big deal. So just want to reiterate that.
Great. And so we're doing this now. We're going to have more conversations, and we're going to keep talking about some creative ways to keep moving. But as of now, for this meeting, we've been able to pull that off. So I hope that's a great thing.
Yep.
And when the chief and the assistant chief are bringing folks in and interviewing them, we can now say that we pay 24, not just 20. So that's big.
Yep.
And for those that are already with us and servicing, and working for Osnaburg. So thank you.
Yep.
I think that's all I have in the fire department realm, other than the calls. So.
So 42 calls, 37 ALS, which is, I mean, almost everybody at this point is a paramedic except for one person, so that's a huge deal. So you won't see many of those BLS calls anymore. 5 fire calls, mutual aid, 4 to different agencies, and then 4 from other agencies. So.
Okay.
We've got 3 POs.
Yeah, here's what I got on the minutes of August 9th. I missed the calls. It shows 0 on our minutes. It was 17. It said ALS. I figure it was 17 calls, but there wasn't anything else on the fire report. Usually like this, if you notice here where the calls say 42, there was no calls. It was blank, but it said ALS 17, BLS 0. And all I wanted to make note is I'd like to change that to reflect your calls on those minutes.
Okay, I can send that to you. I can look.
And I looked at your ALS. I just didn't see any BLS.
There probably weren't any.
And I figured it was probably 17 calls in that time frame, but I wanted to confirm that. I put a initialed in the minutes for 8-9 that I missed that. And I'd just like to make note that needs put in there.
Okay, we said it was a meeting on 8.
Yeah, it's 8-9's
Okay.
report.
Okay.
The other things I have trustees for tonight was I need purchase orders approved for 3 things that have happened that we were working on continuously. One of them is Magic Door back in August. Magic Door had sent a bill in for $125. I received that bill and we paid it, approved it, and did that at that meeting. What I didn't know is they came back to actually do the final repairs. Those repairs were $1,150.50 to that garage door bed. And, when I received that bill, it was, I don't think we have to do it then and now because we're approving tonight that dollar amount, or I want that approved tonight, and I've prepared that. So that's what I would like to do, and then put the resolution number with that.
Okay.
So I have that.
Can you give me the number again real quick?
Yeah, it's $1,150.50 to Magic Door, garage door.
Trustee Varian moves to pay Magic Garage Door $1,150.50 to the repair of a garage door at the fire department.
Trustee Piro, second. Roll call.
Varian.
Yes.
Piro.
Yes.
The next one I have was fire safety services. Back in, we actually discussed this in April and then into May, turnout gear that was needed, and Chief was here. And he said that, at that time, we didn't know what all we needed, but we didn't feel we needed complete sets at that time. But since that time, we had hired a number of people. And in that time, the orders were put in because the chief and I he had emailed me and texted me different things regarding the amounts. And for whatever reason, it might have been in night he wasn't here and maybe Amy was filling that. We never really officially approved that turnout gear. That turnout gear for two was coats and coats and pants was $4,310. And that's for fire safety services. And I would ask for, you all to approve that. The funds are there.
Okay.
Because I had that set aside.
Okay,
for
great.
that.
Trustee Varian moves to pay fire safety services, $4,310 for turnout gear for firefighters.
Trustee Piro, second, roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
Yes.
Here's that.
Great.
And Amy, do you know the two? I thought I had Skylar and,
DJ Williams.
what was it, William?
Williams.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Skylar. Just to make sure. The last one I have, the chief had let me know the annual air testing of the, is it the PACs? I've got that here that he let me know that's coming. This is an annual thing. It's for the equipment. Let me see, annual maintenance. They do air samples of.
Oh, that's the Cascade.
That's the Cascade.
That's how
okay.
we fill the bottles, yeah.
Yeah, that, he let me know that was coming. That's with Pro Air Midwest. Pro Air Midwest,
Air
$650.
West. Even.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like approval for that one.
Trustee Varian moves to pay Pro Air Midwest $650.
Trustee Piro, second, roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Piro.
Yes.
Make sure I got all my notes right.
You're out of money no more.
We are running tight.
We are running.
But,
You were not joking.
but these things, we haven't had a meeting in 3 weeks, and some of
Yeah,
these
right.
things have
Oh,
developed
sure.
over that period of those 3 weeks.
Sure.
Are you all, I know we discussed at the work session regarding premium pays and just things like that. Were you going to wait till Trustee Griffith is here, or did you want to? do
Yeah, I think we're gonna,
Just so you can discuss that?
yeah, I'd like to get the 24 in place like we've done,
Okay.
get that rolling, and then soon talk about that premium pay. We
Okay.
did want to give you a chance to, and you had a couple questions you wanted to ask
Yeah.
me folks.
And I haven't heard back from
Okay.
some legal counsel exactly, other than he said that should work the way, as long as we
Great.
track it and can show.
Great. We want to give you a little extra chance because
Yeah.
I don't want to put too much on
Yeah.
you.
It'll help a lot for me to understand what they're going to allow to do. Then I know what to do for budgeting purposes out of the new American Rescue Plan Act money that'll be coming. I just want to make sure I do have my ducks in a row, but I didn't know if you had any plans on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let me make sure I didn't have anything else.
I'm done with fire if anyone else has anything
That's
else.
it. It's a lot.
Am I good to go? You need me?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Amy.
All right, cemetery report.
All right, just a few updates on some things. Since our last meeting over at Union Cemetery, I cleaned up there was an overgrown bush tree thing, cut it down, cleaned that all up.
Thank you, Ryan. I saw that. I didn't know if that was all your handiwork or if you had backup on that or.
A resident stopped and gave me a bottle of water. They were very nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I saw that when I went by there, I looked over and I thought, man, I was just going to say something to Ryan.
It's all gone.
It was one of those 100-degree days, and I must have looked pretty bad.
Look at this guy. We better give him water. He'll fall over.
So that's done. Over at Wildwood, the grass is all planted, straw, that's all done. And I heard the new sign is in here. It's not been installed yet, but it's here and ready to be installed as soon as we figure out where, and we'll get that done.
Great.
And at Mapleton, I took a concern/complaint about the grass yesterday. Legitimate. I mean, the grass was high and it looked bad, but since then, this morning it got mowed and it looks great again. So
Great. Yeah.
And
You
then-
might mention to him, the resident that talked to Ryan, once I let Ryan know, I think it's $395 it costs to mow one time at Mapleton. He's offered to actually put money aside, once we know that dollar amount, to
Yeah, he
pay
did.
for extra mows.
So he said, now that you've heard all
Really?
the complaints, he said,
Yes.
I want to step up and pay to have it done once or twice.
Yeah.
Wow,
We're gonna get those numbers and let him know what it
wow,
is.
Yeah.
that's great.
And then this coming Monday, a week from today, we'll have an open closing at Mapleton. So that's all my stuff.
I have, oh, go ahead.
I'd say, I just, for the record, I think it's been more of a, it's been an unusual, not normal growing season.
Well,
We've
and
had more
And he
moisture.
was aware of that, and I
Well,
reiterated
but not
that.
so much for him, there's been other people that there's only so much budgeted for mowing, and on a typical year, it isn't an issue. It's not that we are behind, it's just the
Grass is
growing
growing
season.
fast.
I'd like to just put it on record, because I've let Ryan, or cemetery section know, according to the Ohio Township, Ohio Revised Code, the townships only have to mow cemeteries twice a year. This board, even past boards, have always committed to at least doing it a couple times a month. We are not given any money from the state, where we don't get any money from the state, so all this has to be done off of charging open and closings, what we sell off of graves. Also, when I talked to our, with Ryan, with Jim Beck, our mowing, you know, he wants to take pride in it, but yet he knows we're on a budget. And I told him, I said, you know, on the average, usually you can mow twice a month, and we stay right in where we're mowing them twice a month, every 12 to 14 days. The problem this year, extremely a lot of rain. Once you get behind, then it's rain days, and he's behind with other things. It'd be the same thing if we were doing, we would be behind because of rain, and we get behind. And I know that when I hear a resident offering to compensate, you know, but once he knows what that is, to get a couple extra in there, we can budget that in to do that, to help. But most of the time, this year is extremely wet. Most of the time, when you get month of August, we might only mow once, maybe twice in August, September, because it's so dry and it's extremely been wet. So
Yeah,
just to let the residents know out there, you know, that we, and you trustees have always approved that budget. We getting prices, and we actually, by doing it outside and not in-house, we're actually saving about $4,000 a year. If we were doing it in-house, it would cost us about $4,000 more a year, and we'd have all this equipment. But normally, under normal circumstances, the previous years, it worked out very well. It's just this year's been extremely wet.
Something else I want to add to the cemetery report as well. I just happen to know this because I'm part of a congregation that's currently merging with Kuntz Memorial. Kuntz Memorial Church is voting on the gifting of their cemetery next week to us. So that might be coming down the pike. So that vote is coming up next week. And that's the one that's in East
If
Canton.
you're a part of that vote or in that,
I do not have a vote.
have them just make note that you should contact us, because records and all the things that will really help.
And I've told them, just so you're aware, I've told the pastor, like, you need to be contacting our fiscal officer before you're making moves.
Yeah. And
What's
there's
the other option?
You're talking there across from Pete's.
I'm talking there on, the cemetery that's in East Canton.
It's right
Well,
beside
there's a
where the,
couple.
You can almost see it from Union. It's
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what's
Sits by the railroad tracks, across from Dave Arian's old house.
if they're voting, what's the other option?
Keep it. Half the congregation,
That old one.
half the congregation wants to keep it.
So it actually
Keep it.
may be a close vote.
It might keep it and keep mowing it, keep keeping it up. The other half of the church wants to get rid of it.
the congregation, I don't know what they're charging, or how they're doing their lots.
Right.
How they're doing all that. You know, being we don't mow every week, we don't do all that stuff, they're gonna be at the mercy of half of that. They're also gonna get charged $800 for open and closings and
Right.
$500 for cremation.
Well, and
So,
this won't be our problem, but one of their problems is they don't have records.
yeah,
And so pastors in the past have said, sure, you get that lot.
yeah,
And so they've got families that are coming to the table and said, oh, I've got a lot there. We don't have record of that.
yeah.
So they're gonna have to clean up what they're doing before they're gonna give it to us. And that might not happen, but just as a heads up, it could be coming down the pike. So the deal is that our church in North Canton, where I attend and lead worship, we're going to merge with the Louisville congregation that is Coots. Their cemetery still lives in East Canton because that's where their original building was. And it burned down and they moved to Louisville. So they don't have a cemetery in Louisville, but we're going to absorb that congregation and that building. So the conversation is you got to get rid of the dead weight that is the cemetery, and they know their rights and their laws to be able to gift it to the township. So that's kind of where we are. Just a heads up.
That sounds like it could be messy with not having.
No, and that it very well could
We
be.
do not want
No,
that.
no, and what we have to say to the church is we'll accept this from you when you've got your ducks in a row. Like, you're going to have to put your ducks in a row.
We'll see in black and white.
Yeah, Trustee Barron, just so you know, to help us, everything they can do
Mhm.
if they're at that point, because according to the Ohio Revised Code, and I cited that before, this is what normally happens when churches can't take care of those cemeteries. They surrender them over to the township. The township don't get any extra funds to take care of them.
Right.
So if you're all familiar with that cemetery, there's tree issues,
Everywhere.
roots issues,
Line
that there's
trees.
no mapping. There's a lot of cost to the township that maybe we can't get it all fine lined over the first years. It
No.
might take a period of
No.
10
Well,
or
we have
15
to say
years.
we'll accept it, but you can't do anything in there until we get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're digging into.
Is there lots?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
There's open areas there.
There are
Right.
spots of grass with anything in them. That's for sure.
And I don't know, is it
Yeah.
pinned? Is it
Couldn't
pinned?
tell you. I don't think they know.
I've been over there a few times on some burials, but I don't remember seeing like hard pins, and that's
Mhm.
something that, there's a lot of cost. But there again, if they can't and they're saying they're gonna give it up, there's not
Yeah.
much we can say, no, we can't take it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah. Okay, I'll do everything I can on my end, but just want to give you a heads up. So
All right,
that's all I have.
that's it? All right,
Thanks.
road report.
Good evening, everybody. If trustees have looked over the road report, is there any questions you'd like to ask? Okay, we'll go from
Okay, see you later. Your concrete rip out looks good out there, bud.
Yeah, it came out pretty easy.
Was it as thick as you thought, Stu?
It was,
Not as thick.
it was
thin?
just 5 and 6 inches thick in a lot of places.
Okay.
And wire.
Okay. Perfect jumbo jet on it.
So I want to let everyone know too that my road projects, Strasser Construction, they're done and out of here and everything's done.
That's the micro sealing.
Micro sealing
Okay.
for Strasser. And then Melway came in and they motor paved everything, Sindel, Sam Crable, Stuckey, and the bad spot there on Mott's.
How's it look?
It looks really good.
Good. I need to get out
Everything
there.
looks good. Now we're waiting for about 2 weeks and they'll be back into chip and seal over on top of all that.
Great.
And then they will come back after that and burn
Okay.
the areas that are on the list to be burned. So,
It looks real good. On a side note, with Melway, a resident contacted the EPA about some oil in the ditch. I talked to the EPA guy and I just asked that they clean it up. I called Melway and he's supposed to get somebody out this week. So we did everything that we can do on our end.
Okay.
To be on it, stay on it. I drove out and looked at it, Stu looked at it. There is some oil in the ditch.
Gotcha. Stu, do you need approval on new batteries, or would you get all that done already?
they were under the 250,
Great.
got it for 230.
Oh, good job. 2
Um,
batteries for 550. Good job. Did well.
One thing I didn't think to mention to Brian and Sue this morning, when me and Randy and Cliff were at the Stark County meeting last Thursday, the speed zone study for Sindel, they told us that it was approved at the meeting, that we can move forward and put the signs up, which I would like to have that documented in our minutes. because it needs to be if they're gonna enforce it as far as catching anybody speeding. If it's not in the minutes.
That's 35 mile.
35 mile an hour.
It was 55 and
It was 55, now we're down to
And
35.
what point to what point? Just
From Route 30,
throughout.
Here you go.
well, we
Right.
have it on there from Route 30
I got it.
clear
You got
around
that,
to Route 44.
Oh.
Where 44 comes up and butts in 30 and jumps across on the old Sindel.
Well, it's got a
That's how it should.
length of 1.27
Right.
miles, US. 30.
From Route 44,
State Route
Sindel goes
44,
clear around to
US
where it
30
comes
left.
out right in front of the golf course
Yep.
at the far end.
Wraps around and hits 30.
Just like a pretty much a
Yeah.
C shape.
Yeah, yeah.
But Trustee,
Yeah, I-
Trustee Peter moves to accept the completed speed zone studies from Stark County Engineer of Sindel from US 30 State Route 44 to US 30 Lincoln Street, where it dumps out at a total length of 1.277 miles with speed limit reduction to 35 miles per hour.
Trustee Varian second.
Roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Piero.
Yes.
I've already ordered the signs. They showed up today, so we can try to get them up here this week.
I think the residents of that road will be very appreciative of that.
And then our other one will be for this year, which is Belford.
Yep.
That was either 55 or 45. Just different speeds for that little short road.
Yeah.
We were trying to get that one lowered a little bit more because people are complaining.
Yeah. Belford Avenue in Osnaburg from State Route 172 to Georgetown Street,
Yes,
1.07 miles.
yes.
Existing speed
And
limit.
that's in that study, what was it, short? What did it
Yeah,
say?
sure. It's the low volume,
The low
narrow
volume.
road speed study short form.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Okay. It's currently 55 because that's what's, because it's unposted, right?
right. I think it says 45 at one spot too, but
Yeah. Okay.
people really fly on that road because it's straight and it's a cut through road. It's one of those cut throughs.
Got the mower back on.
Mower is back together, flail mower is back together, and I canceled the seals. Yoey's called today, and I talked to Shelley. She said they wouldn't be able to get the seals till the end of September or into October. So I says, cancel them. We found some. She
Is
says,
these the extra ones or these were the main seal?
these seals, we were gonna have, Yoey's are supposed to get us 4 seals coming from, I think it was out around Oklahoma or something. But I don't know where these seals are coming from because they told them they were on a ship somewhere sitting out in the ocean floating around.
Oh, gotcha.
We got seals from Ackenberry.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes.
What did we get? Okay, so the Akron.
We got
Bearing
we got 2 seals from, Akron Bearing.
Okay.
They was able to match up the old one with what they had in stock and got them. Right, Randy?
Right.
So it's back together this morning and
Have you test run it yet?
I forgot to call Ray. I could do that right now.
Hey, Ray, what you doing?
While we were at the county meeting, they talked about there's a $250 million grant that are fund to put out grants for stormwater discharge. Well, I don't know if Cliff's familiar with it. They're down at the Lint property where we have the issue with the water dead end in the ditch. I went up and talked to the engineer after the meeting, and he said there's some possibilities that they can help us on that situation. I have to get him some information. I'm just letting you know I'm working on it. But whether we
Yeah, because that landowner hasn't given,
He
he
said
hasn't
they
helped
can-
us any.
right, you can't stop the water.
No.
Somebody has to be able to come in and use authority to open it up. I think the best thing would be is to get it underground piped out of there from Linz out. So I'm just letting you know that I spoke to him about it. I'm working on it, so there's nothing else to it right now. It's not right, it's not good for our ditches, and we're dumping on They can't stop the water. I don't have anything else.
Only thing I might want to ask Stu, so we have it on our record, what's the updates so we can all hear from Miller Building on the salt?
Oh,
just so
yeah,
we have
I
an
talked to
update.
Dwayne the other day from Miller. He said that he had to make some more calls. He's been having trouble getting the rebar that they use in the forms and the footers for these jobs, along with manpower, full crews showing up to work.
Yeah.
So he said he has 3 more of these to put up this year for winter, and we are the first on the list right as of right now.
Okay.
I mean, we're supposed to be the next one they break ground, but he said he was gonna have to get a hold of some places and start getting nasty with them, I guess. He's getting tired of it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
That's what he's told me so far. That's all I've gotten back from him. He has not called back. I called him on, I think it was Thursday of last week.
I had called him on a Tuesday and he was in bad area.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we're
And then I finally got a
starting to
hold
put
of
a
him.
little pressure on.
I think it was Wednesday or Thursday there. I got a hold of him and he said he would get back with me. Well, I haven't heard anything yet. So that's as far as I know about that situation with the salt bins.
Anything else?
I had a call from a Stanley Starcher. He lives down here on Route 30 by Patty's. He calling about the Jake brake situation. Guys running their Jake brakes, coming down there, making turns, probably at Evening Star or whatever, pulling in and out of that 1 yard there on the corner where they sometimes leave trail. Anyways, he's complaining about wanting to have a Jake brake sign put up. No Jake brakes being used. I gave him the state's number to call the state roads. I said, that's state, that's not our township road. He called them, he called me back, said the state threw it back at us, saying it's in our township, that we have to be the ones to take care of that. Not quite understanding that.
We need to get legal on it, because
Yeah, I don't.
that's state, we can't throw a sign on, it's like us throwing
I
a
know.
sign on a state route.
Right, you
We
can't do
can't
that.
do that.
I mean, we can't even legally go out and just throw a sign up anywhere we want. You know, I mean, there's
There's a procedure.
a
You
procedure.
definitely have to have a
Yeah.
vote of some sort from somebody.
I mean, people want me to go out and throw up a sign saying, you know, kids on bikes or school bus stop ahead on a blind spot. You just can't put a sign up anywhere you want to.
Yeah, it always
and-
sounds good, but there's a false sense of security
Right.
sometimes.
And for us to go down there and put a sign up on a state route, no, I'm not doing it. Not without, like he just said, legal, talk to our legal counsel
Right.
about it. So I wanted to talk to you guys first before I went and called him back. Because I really just didn't know what way to go about that.
I would just tell them that we're working on it.
Yep.
You know, because
We're checking more into it.
like you said, you've had enough experience in the biz job that you do, that you know, you can't just throw a sign up. So we'll tell them we're working on it and see what we do.
I think that's it.
All right,
You didn't even spend any money.
let's move to zoning then.
Couple things happened since we last met. Got a solar permit done and a lot split done.
Great.
On 8/26, I had a lady come in to apply for a variance hearing for home operations. Since then, they decided to cancel it, but the fee, they turned in a check for that never went.
You mean pounds?
Oh, okay.
Usually when anyone turns in money or checks or anything to the zoning inspector, that is good as gold. They don't get the money back. They don't get a refund. This particular case, not knowing what they had planned or decided not to do, that check did bounce, and it's the first check I ever had bounce on our account since I've been here since 2013.
Did they give you a fee?
They gave me a fee, but I called the bank and they were graciously waived it.
Great.
That we just did receive the check in the mail through the mail today of that. It just, in the future, I know Mary knows a lot about it and she's learned in that position, but we might want to emphasize, you can't cancel or back out once you submit it, because Mary puts things in motion, advertising, you
Sure.
trustees approve it.
Sure.
And that's why that fee's there.
Yeah. It's a
And
non-refundable fee. When you
Yeah.
turn it in, you turn it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, to go make them pay the $175, I don't see how I can do it with legal counsel. You'll spend more than you have to get it.
Oh,
So,
yeah, it's not worth going after.
yeah, but, I feel bad. Mary had to experience the first one that did that to us. But the bank was very gracious on waiving that fee.
And that's one thing I try to tell them when they call in, is it's non-refundable.
Yeah.
There was a variance to put a home at 7969 Mapleton, and that was approved, so he's working on getting the application with all the information turned back into me.
Great.
And then over by Joe's Woodshed, they're looking to put storage units up, so he applied for a variance hearing, and that'll be October 4th.
Oh, it's put up storage units.
That's all the permits and stuff.
So just for a point of clarity, while we're talking about that, and I don't know how this went down, but the last time we did a storage unit facility in the township, did the building department make them put a restroom and septic system in? Do you remember that?
I remember them.
I remember they were talking about, but I don't remember how that went down officially. But I thought they did apply for something.
That was the one down there.
Is it Lincoln Storage?
Evening Star,
Yeah.
Evening
Yeah.
Star there.
I mean, it's not for us to tell. I mean, Mr. Brian Hicks will figure it out when he goes for it, but a lot of times now you have to put in a place
I
for the
talked
person to
to
use the
him.
restroom. And a lot of times it's a handicap accessible restroom too,
Yeah.
which adds cost.
I told him he'd have to talk to
Okay.
all the departments.
Yeah. Now he has other properties there that he could very well have
Yeah.
septic and water, and he could offer that bathroom in one of the other buildings,
Wow.
which might work for him.
It's gonna be pretty close to them buildings.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Good.
yeah.
Hey, good job. You got some money coming in there. That's great.
On the nuisance side of it, had a neighbor call me over on Sunlight about the garage being put up there. I went back and double checked it. I issued the permit and I double checked everything on the permit. It is perfectly okay. He was just kind of upset. It's a pretty sizable building they're putting up, so he was concerned about it. He did want to bring up that he believes the roads are being damaged by big vehicles going back to that property. So he wanted that kind of checked into and see what could be done about that. And he wanted
Is
me
it
to.
semi-traffic on the road?
I think it's just like heavy work trucks.
Oh.
Because he said the neighbor works for like an oil well,
Okay,
so he parks his truck there.
gotcha.
I don't believe it's a semi.
Gotcha. Maybe just heavier
Yeah.
truck. Okay. The Sunlight's not a large road.
Right.
That is not a very wide road.
There's not very good turnaround back in there.
Yeah. Might have to just drive back here and see if he's not
Yeah.
tearing it up and,
Yeah.
I don't know what she's considering. It's not a semi. You can have a big
Yeah,
tandem,
oh, you're big, yeah.
big tandem truck
Yeah, we had a
twisting around with the axles. It's like.
Yep, yep.
I mean, the garbage trucks come up there and they back the whole way up through there
Yeah.
to the dead end,
Yeah.
so they don't.
Have to
They
turn
don't know where
around.
to turn around back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it dead ends.
It dead ends, yeah,
All right.
And that house is like the last one on that street.
where that big garage being built.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the neighbor also wanted me to mention that there is a sign back there. I don't know whether it's for the garage being put up or whatever, but this phone number. And he tried to call the phone number and find out about it, and it didn't go through. So he just wanted me to mention that.
Is the sign up as a business? Because he can't, run a
If it-
business out of that.
Yeah,
'cause
if
that's
it's a
not zoned.
business, they wouldn't be allowed, but
No.
I'm not sure what the sign is yet.
Or is it from the company that's building the building?
Oh, it might be.
Yeah.
That was
Pole
my
barns
thought.
direct.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Because it's a pole building that's
Yeah.
being put up.
they put a sign up with
Yep.
a number
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff from
Yeah.
that might
Outfit
be
Good
what it
Mind,
is,
so.
yeah.
Besides that, Indian Run, Hookway's old place.
Mhm.
He does have like a square in front of the house that is mowed, and you can see to the house now. The trailer,
It's not funny, but it is, isn't it?
Well, he's making some effort there. I noticed that when I drove by.
Poor guy's out there with
Wow.
scissors, snipping that out.
Yeah.
trailer that was in front of the house has now moved. There's a dumpster out front now with a couple trash cans beside it as well, so.
Okay.
Noticed some of the vehicles there have been moving around a little bit. And then, next to that at 3399, I posted that on 8/5, and I called Bex the next day. I drove by on Friday, this past Friday. It hasn't been mowed yet, but I know it's been kind of busy, so I'll give Bex another call and see where that's at. Other than that, we got a commission meeting next Monday.
That's the normal
That's the-
timeframe, right?
yeah. And then the Board of Appeals has a hearing October 4th for that over at the woodshed.
Great.
And Mary gave me the information for the zoning appeals, and I'm working on that to get that posted and advertised. The other thing I let Mary know, which she kind of knows I did it, I went and recorded the OS1 and OS2 that the you trustees approved at the last meeting and those hearings. When I was in the recorder's office, not that we have to do it, but they requested an updated zoning book possibly be turned in. It's not a must, but the reason why she showed me our file, our Osnaburg file, and the zoning book is about this thick, and all the amendments are about that thick. So if someone comes in there to get a zoning book from the recorder's office, they gotta run all those copies off of the original book in 1992,
And then all the amendments.
and then all the amendments.
So that should be cleaned up.
Yeah, so what she
Okay.
asked me is take consideration, which Mary is working on that for us, to go ahead and update, which I know the book is updated other than the last two amendments, which Mary has done. Once that book gets updated, it does cost $50 to have that recorded. Then they physically scan that book in, because right now there's not a scanned book at the recorder's office. They have to make copies
All
of it.
physical paper.
Yes.
Got it.
So if we can do that, we can get it and then it's updated.
And then they can email it to people.
Yes.
Yep.
And, they'll charge them a fee,
Yeah.
but at least they have an updated folder for them. So, that's something that, I didn't even know that till I went in there and she showed me the folder. So that's one of those things. I know Mary's helping with that.
Yeah, I added some of it. I just gotta go through and kind of double check stuff, so I should have it done hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday.
Sounds good. Anything else?
Nope.
Another one, we did not spend any money.
Yeah, wow. Dang, fire department.
Old Township Business, Suco's property.
Yeah.
Update.
Yeah, the Sucrose is, I had put that to Solicitor Charlie Hall to discuss that, and he was drawing up some paperwork for you all to look at. I don't know if you all received the email that I sent out with those property parcels and locations, so you could take looks at those locations also. That's my update.
Thank you.
Anything update on American Rescue?
The American Rescue, I did meet the deadline for signing us up at registering.
Okay.
They said in 15 days we'll receive the first load of money, which is $208,959. Next year, in 2022, we received the second. Just as a reminder, we have to have it appropriated to be spent for whatever we're doing or combination of doing by 2024. And then you have until 2026 to finish spending it. So just to give you an idea on that. I noticed on Friday, I got a memo from American Rescue from the Ohio Budget Management that they extended the registration date because there was a lot of townships that didn't register. And they gave a percentage, it was an 80-20. So 20% did not sign up for it. And at a rough numbers, about 120 townships did not sign. So I don't know if this extended time will allow them some more time to get prepared to do it. But always remember, once they do say this is a cutoff, that money that was there gets reallocated based on your need, or not your needs, but your size of your township.
So just as a point of clarity, what would you apply for that, and that chunk of money, the American Rescue money is coming in? If we get permission to, if we get, our legal counsel will tell us that the premium pay, if we do sign it up for the firefighters, if that is feasible in your financial world, what makes the most sense to be able to wait till the money gets here, be able to put it in place? Like, would you prefer to wait till October?
No, I plan on that money being here. It's a matter of steps. I have to have it
I
certified
understand.
at the Stark County Auditors, which he knows is coming. Everybody's doing it.
Right, yeah.
Once it's certified, then we do which appropriation.
Okay.
Now, if you only want to appropriate so much this year for such as that premium pay,
Okay.
maybe you want to put a time frame on it.
All right.
Also, we'll look at some numbers and say, okay, next year at the end of 22, maybe we want to evaluate, do more, or keep it in check. Especially once the attorney and everybody runs their ideas about how they want to utilize this money in our township. So,
So if we had a discussion about it in the next meeting, that would give you enough time?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
I would ask you, trustees, I know Trustee Griffith had said about getting questions gathered up, whether you can type them up on your emails or something, just so when we get this, Gregory Beck and his firm involved, that they have something to start working on.
Yep. Got it. All right, thanks.
All right, I got an email here for,
That's something we have to do.
Yeah.
that's what I'm going
Oh,
right now, about the District 19 Public Works Integrating Committee of Stark County ballot. So do we just fill this out, send it back? Or do you know, Brian?
That is, you pick, if I read it right, you pick your alternate and your regular there. It don't say you have to do a resolution, I don't believe, when I read through it. The email is kind of vague, but the paperwork that I got has a little more to it, a little more meat on it, but you have until November. If you wanted to wait when Trustee Griffith's here on that, you're welcome to do so, because we do have time.
All right.
We'll wait till next month, next meeting.
All right.
Table that. I got a thing here from the Stark County branch of East Library, Stark County District Library, East Canton branch is having a ribbon cutting this Saturday at 10 a.m. to noon. They're asking or they would like to invite any of us or representative to participate in the ribbon cutting ceremony. Please RSVP with the name of the participant by September 15th. Please plan for the participant to arrive by 9:45 a.m. Anyway, I'd like to be able to go.
September 15th.
It's say the 18th. It's a Saturday.
We have a wedding that I'm stuck at the farm all day for.
I keep
Stu,
looking up at them.
you want to be a representative on Saturday at ribbon cutting for the Stark County Library?
What time is it?
It's at 10 a.m. You need to be there by 9:45.
There's a possibility I could go up there at that time. I'm on shift at
Well,
one, but I mean, if you need some representation there.
if I put it down,
Whoever's not here, they signed up for
I
something.
can't go, would you be able to?
Well, I'm gonna say yes when I say I get called out for some emergency situation.
My only issue is if we have a chopper coming, if it's there, I can't. I guess, I'll just fill it out that, I don't know, I can't imagine this will take too long. I'll fill it out that, and then if something,
They want you there at the
9:45 a.m.
9:45, right.
Figure out some way to make it work. So all I got, unless you went.
So all I've got, I can't go,
Oh, you
I'm gonna be
said you-
stuck. I don't have any help this weekend for this wedding, so I gotta be there all day. Trustee Varian moves to adjourn the meeting and pay bills.
Trustee Puro, second, roll call,
Varian?
Yes.
Bureau.
yes. All right. Well, that one was good.